Hello, and welcome to episode 16 of the Rise Fitness and Nutrition Podcast. I am your favorite host, Carlo. Today, I would like to talk about muscle soreness. What happens to your body when you work out? Why do muscles hurt so much? And why sometimes they don't hurt at all? What's going on? Stay tuned to find it out. Happy listening. Oh yes, you went to the gym, started a new training routine, and it felt good. Pushed hard, went home, smashed, because you really did push a lot. Had a nice sleep, and the next morning when the alarm buzzes, you wake up. And your body is apparently fine. Until you move. And that's when it hits you. You can feel every single muscle that you trained yesterday, and when I say feel, I don't mean in a pleasant way. It feels like your whole body has been thrown into a washing machine with rocks, and the treatment lasted for a few hours. You trained your legs yesterday? Good luck walking to the toilet, and most importantly, sit down and stand up, as well as good luck climbing the stairs to the train station. Did you train your upper body? Woo! Enjoy trying to wear your shirt swinging your arms around. Oh, you train your abs pretty aggressively? Sure, all those reps did sound like a breeze, but try to laugh now. Who's laughing? And it's funny because during the day you can feel the soreness moving around your body, change shape and form, almost like you're carrying another layer of something. Say, a painful, funny layer of muscles. Does this sound very familiar to you? If so, you're having a very well-known attack of delayed onset muscle soreness, also known as DOMS. If this feels new to you, don't panic. It goes away in a day or two, according to how crazy you trained yourself yesterday and to how ready your body was. The question here is, what happens to your muscles when you work out? The key concept to understand DOMS is hidden in the way our muscles grow and develop as a consequence of strength training and workout. If you remember, last week we talked about oxidative stress, or ROS, and its role when it comes to energy production and our immune system health. Allow me to show you its role in muscle development and, consequently, in muscle pain. Our cells' engines, the mitochondria, work 24/7 to produce energy for our daily life, and their efforts greatly increases when we are performing any kind of strength training or any kind of exercise in general. Like every engine does, well, unless you drive a Tesla car, when energy is produced, pollution is also generated. If your mitochondria are the cell's engines, their byproduct or pollution is the ROS, and it's usually taken care by your inner antioxidant that work to keep the right balance between oxidative stress and regular cells functioning. Okay, no need to panic and to demonize the ROS or the oxidative stress, because this is not bad for your body per se, as we need oxidative stress to thrive. But if the balance is overthrown, this is where performance could be reduced. Now, keeping this brief, simple background in mind, let's dive in. So what happens to your muscles when you work out? Every time you train, you create micro tears to your muscle fibers that your body has to repair. And it does so by temporarily increasing inflammation in the affected areas. And when the reparation is done, your muscle is slightly stronger and, let's say, again for the sake of simplicity, slightly bigger. Repeat this consistently, adding the right macronutrients, and your muscles will considerably become stronger, and if the stimuli are the correct ones, also become bigger over time. This is the very simplified basic principle. But why do they hurt so much? It's in the first part of this simplified situation that you create the base for DOMS. So the harder you train, the more micro tears you create in the muscle fiber, the higher the inflammation, or ROS, surrounding them. So the body has to work a lot harder to fix the cracks. Does it happen right away? Well, no. There is actually a general timeline for this. Therefore, largely speaking, 4 hours after exercise, white cells will migrate to the muscles to start cleaning up the damaged areas. and this will trigger a second wave of ROS production that starts causing some light discomfort. 24 hours after training, the inflammation is setting in. Reparation forces are here to fix, and the DOMs are starting to set in. And this is where it gets fun. 48 to 72 hours after training is the moment where DOMs are at the peak, and according to how hard you went, this might not allow you to train at your best, and damn, it hurts. To help you visualize what I mean, imagine a road that gets suddenly a high traffic of heavy-duty trucks that create holes and damages to the asphalt. When the rush hour is done, the road is left with a lot of small cracks and holes that need to be fixed. And if the traffic is expected to be bigger over time, the road slowly has to become wider to allow more trucks to pass. When the damages are there, the body calls in the road repairing crew that removes the ruined parts and restores them, and breaks the road sides to add new lanes. This is the repairing inflammation that hurts so good or bad, or both, according to what you have done to yourself during the last training. Training and working out in general creates muscle tears, but there are some specific movements that create more damage to your muscle. For example, any kind of eccentric movement, such as the descending phase of a squat or on a bench press. If you are experiencing nightmare DOMs, ask yourself a few questions. Do you train regularly? When was the last time you trained this hard? Was it last week or a month ago? Did you change your training routine entirely during the last session? And the reasons why it's useful to understand those are simple. If you're a beginner and start by joining the gym with a full 2 hours lifting schedule straight away without allowing your body to gradually adapt to it, you're doing to your body the equivalent of jumping out of a running car at full speed straight into a wall. Starting from zero and going berserk on one day will create a huge amount of muscle damage that will, in exchange, turn into an equally exhilarating aftermath for at least the next week, where a flight of stairs will feel like climbing Mount Everest without shoes. If you train regularly and simply increase the volume during a session, chances are you might feel a little bit of soreness due to the increase, but the stronger you get, the less sore you'll be, as your body adapts to such stress faster and better. If you are used to a specific routine but then change for a different one, hitting different sides and portions of your muscles, chances are you might feel sore, as you are now attacking other parts and creating damages elsewhere compared to where your body is used to. It shouldn't be excruciating unless you approach something completely new and, again, go crazy on the first day. Lightweight, baby! The rule of the thumb is simple. Whatever training or sport you approach, take it easy at the beginning. Your body is programmed to learn and adapt to muscle stress, and if you allow it to gradually get used to it, you will experience a much lower level of DOMs, and you'll also be able to be more consistent over time without the funny fear of a flight of stairs or a shirt to wear. Now, let me tell you a couple of questions that I am asked frequently. Carlo, I don't feel much sore anymore. Am I doing enough? Help! Having sore muscles, at the beginning at least, is an indicator that you created muscle damage and that your body needs to build more muscles to be stronger. That is correct, but if your training routine is fairly consistent and you slowly increase its challenge session by session, not feeling sore, it's actually okay. And it doesn't mean that you're doing enough. It means, and be proud of it, that you are getting stronger. You can increase the volume you train at, simply put, heavier weights, and your body adapts more efficiently. If I feel sore the next day, does it mean I did a good training? It depends. If you change your routine, it just means your body needs to adapt to something new that it wasn't used to. And this might not be bad, as providing new stimuli to grow to your body through variety in training over time is positive. If you feel sore after every single training, then there is something wrong somewhere. Either you're doing way too much every single training, or you're not being consistent with the exercise, aka you are routine hopping, training one day on something and then the following day on something completely different and keep repeating this random training plan. Or Also, your recovery might be way off, so that your body has troubles keeping up. Let me tell you something about my experience with DOMS. Now, I am one of those guys that likes to feel sore here and there, as it's a funny type of pain, but as I have been more and more consistent over time with my training, I also noticed that I have way less soreness, to the point that I almost have no more soreness. And unless I change routine or particularly go crazy one day, I am mostly okay. At the beginning, I, too, was bummed, as I liked the fact that my muscles were on fire, as it meant it was a good workout. But studying a bit more, I understood that it's not always like that. And actually it does make complete sense, as my training plan is consistent and I grow stronger over time without being particularly sore, actually almost not sore at all. But I also have a funny story though. One summer I went on a 2-day hike with a couple of friends to the top of a mountain that is around 2,900 meters. We went up for an entire day, reached the lodge right next to the top to sleep in the evening, reached the very top of the mountain the following morning, and walked all the way down to the car and just went back home as nothing happened. And I really felt great going up and down. I was tired, yeah, sure, but I felt like great. You know, some people have like muscle pain throughout the hike, and I was actually 100% fine. The morning after, I woke up and was expecting to be in massive pain, but to my surprise, I had very, very light soreness, to the point that I proudly thought that finally my training was paying off. So I just went on with my day, went to work, and that was it. Little did I know, during the day I was sitting at my desk and I started feeling it. At first, a subtle feeling that started from my calves around the ankles, and as hours passed, it was climbing up my legs. My calves were on fire by lunchtime, and it kept on rising. By 3 p.m., my entire legs, all the way from my ankles to my hips, felt like they were being pierced by invisible small hot needles. And as you can imagine, I had to walk back home looking like I couldn't find a toilet and I had to let it go in my pants. And yeah, by the way, when I commute with trains, I have a lot of stairs to climb up and down. And I live on the 4th floor of a building without the elevator. You make the maths. It was a very fun way to remind that my body was not used to hike that much that quickly. And that's it for today. Did you know that muscle soreness is also known as DOMS? When was the last time that you felt so sore that everyday life was so complex and overly painful? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoy my podcast and you're listening on Apple Podcast, a 5-star review will be greatly appreciated. Thank you and talk to you next time.